Thank God. It's been a vanilla season, but there's some beef brewing now, and we needed it. We needed the drama, and here we are. We have El Grenas talking shit. He was talking shit on my analysis, and I'm really happy for him because he's in third place, and it's crazy what 6-6 could do to a guy. Man, 6-6, that's so sick. He really knows a lot about fantasy. It's really, really impressive. We're going to talk about his team. We're going to talk about a lot of other teams. I'm 9-3, but I don't want to talk about that. Let's just focus on what's going on in this league because, hey, the criticism on my support of Team Glory Hole is valid. So let's look at it. I missed last week. We'll really quickly just talk about the results last week. Paco Libre, just a standout this season, beat Team Glory Hole pretty handily. Team El Captain with the big win against Caesar Trons in a very playoff relevant game. Another very playoff relevant game. The chairman winning a very close one. Only 4 points over I Did It All for the Wookiee. A team that really needed that win. Pain Train getting a very lazy win over We Went With Jared with two very low scoring teams. And then Untouchables beating a team called El Grenas 176.92 to 90.90. In a 10-team league, 90 points. That has to be a typo. No, I guess that might be legit. Anyway, for as far as what happened this week, we'll focus more on this just because recency bias, although I should probably pay equal attention to both. The Team Glory Hole loss this time was against Caesar Trons. Caesar Trons, again, just gigantic win, becoming playoff relevant, going to 6-6. Putting up 177 points, massively impressive week. This is a higher scoring week. But Team Glory Hole's 140, not to defend myself, but Team Glory Hole's 140 would have beaten half the league. So a little bit of bad luck goes a long way. Caesar Trons absolutely deserved this win. Chubb has just continued to prove that he has a lot of value. He gets in the end zone and has a 100-plus yard game. T. Higgins finishes his No Jamar Chase tour with 27 points as well. Hopefully he'll still remain relevant. There were some guys that you don't really want to start here. Gabe Davis and Julio Jones, two guys who are pretty inconsistent. Gabe Davis more behind starting him. Julio Jones not as much. But ultimately, this is a team that is going to be getting Joe Mixon back. And I think that's going to make a big difference. Also getting Kyler Murray back. You have to wonder what he does with the Kyler Dak thing. Kyler this week outscored him 30-18. So now that you have him back, who is your guy? I think it's a tough one. I think these guys are probably, if I were to rank quarterbacks, they'd probably be right next to each other. So we'll see who Caesar goes with. Team Glory Hole, a lot of the season has been Herbert not being so stellar, but this week that wasn't the case. 34 points. Unfortunately for him, Dalvin and Kamara, two big names that you expect to get a little bit more out of, just disappointment. Dalvin with 22 carries, getting absolutely no room at the line of scrimmage, only getting you 8.6 points. And then Alvin Kamara, 2 fumbles. He should have gotten in the end zone here. He fumbles at the 1 yard line. That makes a difference between a 13, 14 point week and a 5 point week. Very disappointing. Tyreek gets banged up, doesn't have a great week for you. It's kind of all going poorly for this team at this point. But there's still a lot. And in Eli Mitchell gone for the season in case you relied on him. But if you're Glory Hole, it's Dalvin and Kamara. That's always what it's been. They've been too inconsistent for Glory Hole up to this point. So we're going to have to monitor that. We will talk about Glory Hole after this, any way that they might still squeeze in. But obviously looking pretty bleak for their team. Paco Libre. I need to remind myself who came to my defense so I know who to unnecessarily back up. Let's see. Someone said I went 4-3. Caesar on my back. All right, so Caesar I got to defend. And who's the guy? Paco Libre. Okay, Paco Libre was 4-3. He said that I said his team was underrated. Let's check my notes. Paco Libre, yes. He played against Untouchables, got a tough loss. I said Paco Libre will have a better rest of season than Untouchables. And then Paco Libre went to 5-3 even, and I said underrated at 5-3. So I've been a Paco Libre guy, and obviously they might take my front seat as my new choice to win it all. Although I hate ditching my old takes, so I'm still going to root for Glory Hole. But Paco Libre, 9-3 now. I think that's 5 straight wins for them potentially. So just absolutely gigantic win. And this comes with McCaffrey only getting 8.4 points. But Josh Jacobs, 56.8 points. This is the matchup between two guys that I've had this season. Josh Jacobs, I traded away. I did get McCaffrey, but Josh Jacobs looking like potentially the higher ceiling guy with McCaffrey's knee irritation. But I still like both these guys a lot. Pocket Libre really turning into a stellar team. There is some stuff to monitor. McCaffrey's knee, Debo's hamstring, but this is probably the deepest team as far as like there's no weaknesses on this team. They didn't field any bad players, and they had Olave and Pirine on the bench this week. That's something that not many other teams can say they've done. So Pocket Libre, the new front runner, whereas El Captain, 148 points. Again, a pretty strong week. Can't be too mad at yourself. Stevenson proving to have a lot of value. This top-down team, Mahomes, Saquon, Stevenson, Justin Jefferson, McLaurin, Amari Cooper. This is another team that doesn't have many weaknesses. I don't love Singletary in the flex. I would probably be considering Connor here. This week, Connor did have a much bigger week. But you have some choices. It's also a fairly deep team, probably next to Pocket Libre being the second deepest. But I guess this could be like a finals preview because both these teams look really, really strong. El Cap and Pocket Libre. A lot to be excited about for both these teams. For Untouchable is a team that I've been harder on, saying that I thought they were a little overrated earlier on. Again, not overrated. I don't know what people are saying about them, but as far as the standings go. And for Untouchables, I mean, this is when you had to have. You're 6-5 going into a game against a 4-7 team. A 4-7 team that you really could end their season, but you did not. And you actually let them back into the playoff picture. I did all for the Wookiee just with a gigantic win. 142 points, again, that middle ground. You can win, you can lose, but Untouchables open the windows for you. For Josh Allen to basically do it all for you, 34.42, a gigantic week. You got production out of other guys, but no one really hit their ceiling or anywhere near it. So a lot of the work was done by the quarterback position, whereas for Untouchables, you continue to field a fairly weak Tom Brady at quarterback with Garoppolo on your bench. And I think just for this Untouchables team, it's just, I continue to say, this is one of the weaker teams in the league. I don't see much magic behind Untouchables, and I still think if there's going to be one of these 6-6 teams that fall off, it's going to be Untouchables here. And I did it all for the Wookiee. I mean, maybe they're the team that catches up, although I'm already going to stick with Glory Hole as my prediction just because I'm stubborn. For El Grenas, you get a win. Congrats, going to 500 and apparently getting very confident with yourself. Najee Hurt, we'll monitor that. This team, Jalen Hurts, I got to give you, is a fantastic, fantastic quarterback pick. And of course, we know Diggs and D-Hop are guys that are going to show you a ton of value down the stretch. Some other guys produced, but Damian Pierce is averaging like 1 yard per carry in his last 1.5 games. Najee now injured, so you just have to look at this running back position and be a little bit concerned. Pacheco, 1 catch, and maybe all season I believe he has. He did get a nice catch last game, but because he's so run heavy and touchdown dependent on the ground, not a fantastic pick as an RB1. Mostert, we already have our concerns about. Foreman, fortunately, in games that the Panthers are competitive, he is a good option. But they are not a good team, and when they're behind, it's going to be more Hubbard. Even last game, 24 carries, 113 yards, a good game. He only got like 2 or 3 more snaps or something than Hubbard. So, I mean, ultimately, there are guys you could start, but when you compete against the top teams, I think this team's going to completely pale in comparison. I'm, in fact, going to Dunchain El Granas. It's done. Come to the jewelry store. My dad's actually a jeweler. Come to the jewelry store. Let's get you fitted for that dun chain because I'm going to give you a dun chain. People are saying, hey, El Granas, is this a personal thing that you have against El Granas? Listen, I'm an analyst. I take this very seriously. I wouldn't just say, oh, because I don't like this guy. Oh, fuck, I have a meeting in 2 minutes. I didn't even notice. Oh, because I don't like this guy, I'm going to dun chain him. But I'm going to dun chain him, and I don't care. I don't care that he's in 3rd place. This guy has zero chance of winning it all. So just keep that in mind. Okay, so I actually, generally, obviously he has a chance to win it all. I really do think, though, for the most part, this team's not even remotely as strong as the other top teams. All other analysis aside, I think 6-6 is fairly appropriate for them. I think it's a very average team. But I think they'll obviously make the playoffs at this point. But I do not. I think it could be one and done, honestly. Team chairman with a win, 139 to 123. We went with Jared, probably getting really season ender right there, going to 4-8. But chairman with a must win here, and that's even despite the ETN injury. So this is a earned, hard fought win. Gino another good week, 27.32. Jamal another good week, gets in the end zone. CD another good week. So I think ultimately, if you're this team, you're pretty strong. I mean, there's not so many weak spots unless ETN gets hurt. The ETN-Eckler combo is super strong. So I think for the chairman, you're looking pretty good. We know Jared, we won't take too much time to talk about this team, but Michael Cardinale also with a injury. There's a lot of weak guys being. Carter on the Chargers had a good week, but you're not going to want to start him often. Duvernay, I think he got in the end zone actually, but he's just getting absolutely no utilization. It's just not a good team, unfortunately. So anyway, I need to bounce for a meeting, but the last thing I'll say is, how do the standings look? It's really tight. 6-6 to be in third place is indicative of a very tight standings, but I think ultimately you're looking at all these teams. Every team outside of We Went With Jared is in the race. And I think that Glory Hole, honestly, still has a window, because Glory Hole's next two matchups are between two teams right ahead of him. I think we're in week 13. He has, week 13, Glory Hole has Caesar Trons at 6-6. I do love Caesar. I actually think he's the better team also. Oh, wait, sorry. That was a game that just happened. I'm an idiot. Thank God, because Caesar was going to beat him. Okay, so Glory Hole has I Did It All for the Wookiee, a must-win, 2 5-7 teams. I think Glory Hole is going to walk away with the win despite being the favorite there. And then if you get the win there, you're going to be playing against Pain Train, who's 6-6 currently, a team you could overcome. Obviously, odds are against them, but I'm still fucking Team Glory Hole. And I think Team Glory Hole is going to fucking win, and I'm going to say, El Granas, go fuck yourself. But no, realistically, that's not where I'm going to put it anymore. I'm going to say Paco Libre, the new favorite, to win it all. And I'm going to put my entire stake as an analyst behind guaranteeing for 100% El Granas will not win the title, and then prediction that it's going to be one and done. Cheers. Bye.